basically we are connecting. Let's see. Let us confirm, everyone, that we are live and kicking. There we go. Coolio. So, hi everyone on YouTube and Twitter and everyone here in the Zoom chat room. Lachlan was just fixing up his internet. We were having a bit of a moment here, but we are here, live trading room. So welcome everybody and enjoy your live trading room session with this wonderful Thursday. Lachlan, I'm pretty sure markets are crazy today as always. So enjoy, everyone.
Very good, thank you. So guys and girls, welcome. Lockie here, hope you're fantastic. I'm going to be running you through the European Open live trading room today, so I hope you're well. I've just updated your chat function, guys and girls, so you should be able to chat with each other now, which will keep you out of mischief. Now, more and more, so please jump in on that. G'day, Mark, how are you? Hope you're fantastic. Guys, I'm going to share my screen with you. So we'll get that off and racing. So you should be able to see a screen, which is brilliant. Now, guys, the markets are, as Arlen has already suggested, the markets are definitely bopping along today. There is no question about that. So yesterday, I was just looking. So today the volume is 53,000. Yesterday the volume was significantly more. So guys, yesterday the markets were a lot more active than they were today, but I have a sneaking suspicion. We're about to have a really good trading session, which again should be really quite good fun. So I'll just move that chat around, make sure that's ready to rock and roll. So we'll run through these slides, guys and girls. So welcome. Guys, we're going to be doing literally today how to get started as a professional day trader. So again, thank you to TTP, guys. Thank you to the Trading Pit for joining us on this trading adventure, guys. Really lovely to have such brilliant sort of corporate partners on the journey. It's going to be good fun, guys. It's going to be good fun. Now, that being said, guys, we're going to do a little bit of preparation before we move into the live trading room. Some of you have no doubt, as I look at the names in the LTR, some of you have been in the LTR before, which is exciting, so you know what to expect. Guys, that being said, we are on YouTube, we're across Instagram, we're across a number of social media, so there will be some people that have not seen us before. So let me jump on and run through our compliance slides. So first and foremost, guys and girls, we're going to talk about trading futures and CFDs, which are the two primary instruments we're going to be focused on today. So both of them do carry risk, guys. There's a risk of making money and losing money every time you take a trade. Now, as we roll through the risk slides, guys, we will be trading on margin today. So margin, for those that don't know, means that we borrow a little bit of money every time we take a trade. Now, that does mean our wins can be very big very quickly. It also means our losses can be very big very quickly. So what you will find out today, guys, as per yesterday in the live trading room, we had a blinder yesterday. As in fact, this week's been good fun so far. But guys, that being said, you'll note that it's all about risk control. Okay, it's all about risk control. So what I will do is I will give you what we call an RCP, or a risk control point. I'll suggest that risk control point to you. So once we actually pick up a trade, I'll say to you guys and girls, if the market has gone this far in your favor, I would suggest reducing your risk or cutting your risk off, guys, and we'll navigate through the markets, guys, as we did over the last couple of days. January's been really good fun. Guys, there's no doubt there's volatility globally being driven by the US geopolitical situation. Guys, many people, guys, are hedging on either side of the market. May I put a forecast out, guys and girls? May I put a forecast out? I think the first 3 to 4 months of the new presidency is going to go very well. I think there's going to be a bit of a honeymoon period, but then I think everyone's going to realize that the country's in a little bit of trouble, guys, and I think we are looking for a pretty sizable correction in the global markets. And the beauty of that is we'll be able to pick that up on the weekly charts. We'll know when that's coming. Louis, that's a huge result, 99 ticks times 5 contracts. That's a great trade. Guys, everything we're going to be doing is general information only today. It's a beautiful trade. Guys, past performance is not an indication of future performance. We used to be able to talk about past performance, but we're not allowed to, guys, particularly, guys, in the stricter jurisdictions globally. So today, guys, I'm anticipating that we're going to be... broadcasting to around about 13 different countries. There are a number of people, guys, in Australia. Australia and London typically have some of the strictest compliance in the world. So we're making sure we cover all of that because we can. Because we can. Now, further to that, guys, there is something called market risk factors. Ultimately, we're trading over the internet today. Right, so the internet does turn on and off. It does go in and out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my best to actually identify the exact point where I would be taking a trade, guys, as per the education strategies that we use. We will be hunting 10 different signals today. Guys, we've got 4 to 5 signals for the beginner traders, a couple for the intermediate traders, and also a couple for the advanced traders. So I'll do my best to guide you in and out of those trades as best as I possibly can. Guys, I'll draw lines on the screen, literally where I would suggest you enter, guys, and then we'll talk about the risk control on the run. That model normally works very, very well for us, guys, and people, as I've said, guys, January's been an absolute blinder in the live trading room. I do hope the volatility continues, guys, because it's been really, really good fun. There's no doubt about that. So guys, my role at Samurai, I'm the lead trader, guys, also the chief training officer. Guys, ultimately, Samurai was started by traders for traders, and we're growing very, very quickly, guys, which is good fun. I do come from a military background, just to highlight, I'm a pretty straight shooter, guys, if you don't mind the pun. I started futures trading in 2007. So 1st of August 2007, I started. Guys, so effectively, there's not a lot of questions in the game of futures that I can't answer, guys. So if you do have a question in the last 15 or so minutes, guys, of the hour is a great time to get that question answered. So our focus today, guys, our focus chart layout and signals. Ultimately, guys, the chart layout's going to look like this: Nasdaq at the top left, FDAX top right. We've got the S&P 500 and also the FESX. What I will suggest to everyone, guys and girls, if I can, is that we're going to be focusing on the 4 comments on the left-hand side with the wows beside them. So CSA, for those that don't know, stands for candlestick analysis. We're going to be measuring the strength or weakness of every candle. Guys, the reason we're going to do that is my first trading teacher ever, guys, his name is Richard Malcolm, based in the US. Guys, he basically said, Lockie, the key to trading futures really, really well, or the key to trading the markets really well, is identify the team that's failing and join the other team. Now, my first response was, oh, look, it can't possibly be that simple. Guys and girls, this was 2007. May I suggest that Rich is still right to this day. So all we're going to do is identify the team that's failing and join the other team. We will be using 2 versions of the Delta today, guys, Delta V1 and Delta V2. We've got an update for the indicators update for all the members very, very shortly on that. Guys, we will look at the ratios of candles. There'll be 2 kinds of entry, a static entry and a dynamic entry. Just so everyone knows, the static entry is once the candle has closed, then we look for our entry. So that's a really, really good way for beginner traders to start. Dynamic entry, most of the advanced traders will be using dynamic entries today. And guys, ABC and stair step, absolutely fundamental to what we do, and we do let the market generate the signals for us. Guys, that's basically let the market do the heavy lifting. We're also going to be doing that today. Now, a little bit more if I can, guys, what to expect in the session today is the European Open session, which is the one we're going to be doing. On this volume, what have we got? Around 53,000. We should be picking up 12 to 15 trades. We're going to be looking at short and long range targets. If you are going for long range targets, guys, it might be easier to split your contracts so you can control your risk early and let your profit run. We've already spoken about risk control points. So guys, please be advised that the initial risk to reward ratio on most trades is going to be 1-to-1. But what will occur during the session is we'll normally end up with that trade being 50-to-1, even up to 100-to-1. Okay, so I'll deal with that as we need to. Guys, now the US closed live trading room, guys, is up and running. They normally pick up more trades than us. So they had 35 traders run through the US closed live trading room today, guys. So that trading room, guys, only started about 8 weeks ago with 4 traders. Now it's obviously significantly bigger than what it was. Guys, they normally get around 17 to 20 trades. They're only trading 2 markets today. We're trading 3. The markets do move a lot faster. Guys, the risk is greater, but the profit potential is also significantly greater. Okay, for those of you that might be interested in a US close live trading room. Now, guys, some European Open specifics, if I can. Guys, we're going to be going for profit first, education second. There's a number of people in the trading room, guys, that have been with me already for 12 years. So they know exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it. So I do encourage everybody, guys, to post your trades, guys, into the chat log so I can talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Guys, at the end of the day, we will be targeting a 90% strike rate. There's actually no signal I'm going to be talking about today that runs at less than a 90% strike rate. And guys, obviously, we're also posting videos on YouTube every day. Yesterday's video, guys, about every video this week. It's been quite good fun. So if you're not, guys, on YouTube or you don't normally go to YouTube, just jump on Samurai Day Trading, guys, on YouTube and have a look at our trades of the day. We had, as I said, we had a blinder yesterday. Of course, that video is worth a watch. Now, Some personal considerations, if I may, guys. The best trade for you is the one that makes most sense to you, right? So if you're brand new to trading, please just watch, listen, and learn to what we do. Guys, if you're experienced, then I'll do my best to guide you in and out as many signals as I possibly can. That being said, guys, all the way down, point number 3 there, please note, guys, that I am going to seek to maximize the profit on every single trade taken. If I think there's a profit maximization opportunity, I'll say, righto, guys and girls, on this one, we're going to try and go for long range targets. Guys, if it's a shorter range trade, I'll say, listen, I think this is a shorter range trade. We'll probably just go for our daily KPI. So KPI on NASDAQ, guys, is 20 ticks or $100. For the S&P 500, it's the equivalent. And for FTAX, guys, we're looking at between $125 and $250 per contract traded. All right, so there are KPIs. Ideally, we want to hit those KPIs very, very early in the session, guys. So we'll do our best to hit those, as we do almost every day, guys. Within about the first 15 to 20 minutes, we're normally over KPI and we're ultimately finished for the day. Now, guys, a big point down the bottom. Please do note that if a trade requires greater risk than that that you're happy to take, please don't take the trade. Guys, there's no such thing as missing out as a 5-minute futures chart trader. The reason being is we pick up around 60 to 80 trades a week. Okay, so if there's one today that's got a little bit too much risk for you, please don't take that trade. Now, I got asked a really, really good question, guys, a number of months ago. I've actually written a number of books on trading. Guys, my latest release is Brokers Exposed. So if you guys out there in the world, guys, the book is free. It's available to download, guys, on the Samurai website. If you want to know the difference between futures trading and almost every other form of trading, that book is a great way of understanding how to do that. I've already spoken about YouTube, guys, and my favorite Instagram channel. We're literally building the Samurai Instagram channel at the moment. Guys, my original channel, guys, is literally I Love Trading because I love trading. I think that's going to be pretty obvious today. So if you are running around the Instagram world, I do also put videos and comments and other things on Instagram as well. So guys, we'll get into it. It's going to be a busy day. Going to be a busy day today. Let me just push this button, and we should, in a perfect world, we should end up with charts. All right, let me get rid of that for you. Because you guys are already pulling profit out of the market. Now, Louis, so guys, Louis already posted 99 ticks worth of profit. This is funny because this is the exact trade as when I was marking up the charts before with Arlen. Guys, can everybody see those 3 black V2 deltas there? So those little black diamonds on the chart. I literally said it as I was cruising in. I said, that is looking like an absolutely stunning trade. I really hope the sellers come back down, turn around so we can pick that up. So Louis, if you've already picked up 100 ticks off that move, that's a beautiful trade. That is a beautiful trade. Now, guys, interesting point. I have got a comment here, right here, guys, right here on the charts, right? I wrote that around about 45 minutes ago, which is I'm expecting both of the US markets to be buying, guys. Guess what's happened? It's actually started to buy right now. Louis, you got 60 on the way down on the hourly turn. Mate, that's exactly what I traded today, mate. So I picked up the hourly turn short, and then I got into preparation mode. So that's awesome. That's brilliant. So guys, bottom left-hand corner, so all the Fibonacci work I've done, guys, Fibonacci extensions. I do want to highlight to everybody, guys, as we cruise in, the S&P 500 has got a really, really stunning 4-hour short. The NASDAQ has got the same 4-hour short. So what they're actually shying away from at this point in time on the US markets is triggering those shorts. I do note for those fans of Fibonacci that the S&P 500 has gone to exactly the 100% extension, set up an absolutely stunning reversal bar, and this is probably the reversal on the S&P that's fueling the NASDAQ as well. So you see the candle formation on the S&P, candle formation on the NASDAQ. So again, whichever's got the greatest volume, it's about the same at the moment. So I'd suggest they're both basically encouraging each other on, which is good fun. So all my Fibonacci work, guys, getting ready is now gone back the other way, which is okay because it's producing winning trades. So S&P was what we're going to be looking at for today, all the way at the top of the jar here. Let me get rid of that Fibonacci for a moment. I'll get to those comments at the top. What we want to be looking on, guys and girls, we've got a previous 4-hour high on the S&P 500 that's hiding right here. So again, if the buyers want to push up, guys, and fail up around here, we're going to be picking up some really, really nice shorts. Now, the shorts for the NASDAQ and S&P 500 traders will be very, very heavily dependent, guys, on what the European markets are doing. Guys, and I do note, Damsey, how are you? I do note at this point in time, guys, we've got a really lovely gap to close, guys, on the FESX. So it is most likely that the European markets are going to go down first if they want to play the game of gap closing. Right? I'll get to that in a little bit of time. Now, as we do have one thing I do want to mention for both US markets. Guys, the US markets have got a really, really large gap. Cody, yeah, thank you, mate. That's fantastic. Guys, I'll jump on microphones in a second. I'll jump on mics in a second. Guys, I believe that the US markets are going to go and try and close their gaps. Now, let me show you exactly what that means. I'll bring up a daily chart for you. Okay, so what happened, guys, what happened this week is the market actually triggered an absolutely incredible reversal, guys, towards the end of last week. So then they gapped the market down and they ran. Okay, now mathematically, can everybody see that basically that gap of data? Mathematically, that gap has got to be closed. Now, that means the NASDAQ has got to go back up around about 21,900. It's currently trading at 21,659. So it's got a long way to go, guys. It's 1,200 ticks to the high side. For it to go up 1,200 ticks, there's got to be a positive news announcement. And guess what we've got coming later tonight? FOMC. So if FOMC is positive, guys, that's going to send us up to close the gap. But I just want to note for everybody, if I can, when that gap gets closed, we're actually setting up very, very large shorts. Okay, setting up very, 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 very large shorts. Okay, so what does that ultimately mean? What does that ultimately mean? As if the market pushes up and fails badly, okay, we're going to be picking up huge shorts. So today, I would suggest that, again, guys, if we get a big buy tonight, guys, off the back of that red flag US news, if we do get a big buy, then we're going to be sending it, ultimately sending it back the other way, okay, which will be good fun. So tomorrow, guys, I'd suggest tomorrow morning in the US close live trading room, guys, if you get a big buy, you'll be looking for enormous shorts. And tomorrow afternoon in the European Open, guys, we'll be looking to join the shorting campaign European-wise. Now, guys, I'll draw your attention, if I can, to the NASDAQ. Guys, the reason being is if the NASDAQ keeps on buying, guys, it looks a lot like these guys are wrestling around these green Fibonacci's. If we were to push up to the R1, which is this resistance level at the top of the chart, Ron, that's all right, mate. That's a lot of 5s and 6s, but I assumed that was a mistake, which is all good. As if we do push up to the R1 here, for those people that love trading reversal trades, you've got a myriad, guys, of reversals. The one that I would pick on most closely is that static bar reversal short. You see that tiny little red candle there? Guys, the fill to go short is 671. So if we do get a really nice buying spike, guys, on open, and that meets your trading plan, you guys are looking to short at 671. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the chart for you there. Now, to short at 671, we would clearly need the market to push above 671 and fail at a Fibonacci. All right, so what's your Fibonacci going to look like? What I'm going to do, guys, as we always do, so a little tip to everybody, Fibonacci must be drawn down in order to catch them on the way up. And Fibonacci, the spine of the Fibonacci, which is this line that runs from the top to the bottom, guys, the spine of the Fibonacci almost always runs left to right. If your Fibonacci is running right to left, guys, generally speaking, the actual spine of the Fibonacci is incorrect. So you might have your Fibonacci upside down. Okay, so put Fibonacci on there. That's ready to rock and roll. So this looks a lot like, guys, the buyers are going to push up, potentially tag those twin 90s at the top. Okay, tag that, and they're going to fill the short at 671. Guys, and what I do want to highlight to everyone on the NASDAQ, last time these guys sold down, they basically shied away from triggering a 4-hour short. If we do get a really lovely sell today and it's very early in the session, they might actually try and run for that 4-hour short. Meeting happened already. Lots of volatility in US close. Raymond, so that's okay. So that happened this morning. Of course, it's Thursday morning. So sorry, mate, the high impact news we're going to watch out for tonight. Let me just get this up for you guys. The high impact news. Let me just show you what I'm concerned about for those trading a little bit later. All right, just here. Okay. These newses, so literally Thursday, these ones here, so the advanced GDP unemployment claims, these are the ones that are going to send the market a little bit cray-cray tonight. So mind you, guys and girls, if those newses are positive, that's actually going to be really, really good fun for the US. If they're negative, we're going to see the US market shy away a little bit, but ultimately and mathematically, it's got to go and close that gap. Okay, got to go and close the gap. It cannot leave a gap unclosed. There might be some people out there in the world, guys, that disagree with me on that one, but the gaps, certainly since 2007, the gaps have always been closed. So I'm assuming it's probably going to happen again. Now, for the European-based traders, we've got what we refer to, guys, as markets in conflict or charts in conflict. What do I mean by that, guys? I mean that the FDAX has already closed its gap. The FESX has got a long way to go, right? So what that ultimately means is that the FESX is likely to win this game, right? Likely to win this game, which means the DAX is going to get pulled to the downside. Now, one thing we do at that daily fib, guys, that is way out of context. So what we can do is we can get rid of that because I want to highlight a point here. Guys, top here, that's the 2025 high. So again, if the FDAX does move up towards the 2025 high, guys, and fail, we're going to pick up really, really lovely shorts. The beauty of those shorts, it's going to be in concert with the short we're expecting on the FESX to push down to the gap. Okay, so let me just go and put on the FOMC for the moment. FESX. We've done that, so we don't need to talk about that one. We know about the gap to close. So guys, I'm going to have a look at some, let me just get this control panel here. I'll move it across the chart. Of course, we need to look at the larger charts. Guys, particularly with the big Europeans. So the European, guys, FESX is the largest market in the world to be traded at this time, bar none. At this point in time, guys, the buyers are very, very keen. This is a weekly chart. Very, very keen to actually break into what we call uncharted territory, guys, or literally some people call it blue sky mining. Either way, it looks like they're going to try and go for a break of their all-time high. Now, many moons ago, guys and girls, we were talking about these are absolutely stunning reversals long. We're expecting the buying to go for 3 weeks. So what I would suggest at this point in time, guys, again, they're in their 4th week of buying. I'd suggest they're probably going to pop through, create an all-time high. If they can't hold the all-time high, I just want to highlight to everybody that these guys are famous for failing at the 141.4 fib extension off the weekly chart, all right? So that's exactly where they failed last time. So if they can get above that level and hold above that level, absolutely incredible. If they can't hold above the 141.4, we're going to end up with a really, really lovely reversal short. Now, I believe, guys, that reversal short will coincide with weak economic news coming out of Europe and the US combined. Now, guys, if we drop down to the daily chart, we've got an absolutely perfect stall, guys. So again, we've got the 90s or the twin 90s over here. So that's the 90 and the 88.6. It looks like these guys are stalling perfectly. There's no signal for us to trade, guys, on the daily chart, but we can just gather intel as to what they're likely to do. All right, dropping down to the 240 chart. This is, as a 5-minute chart trader, guys, this is where we really start to pay attention as to what they're doing. And what I see here, guys, I've got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So these guys are in their 3rd phase move to the high side. At this point in time, guys, if the buyers are quite strong on the 4-hour chart, so to speak, but we've again got another 3 or so hours before they determine what they're going to do. There's the gap, guys, that we've got to close. So it's highly likely these guys are going to pull down and try and close the gap. I do want to draw everybody's attention, though, to the top of that little red candle. Right, which is 52526, which is right here. Guys, the reason I want to draw your attention to that, this will become pretty pivotal, guys, throughout our little session here. The reason being is the FESX does not have to close its gap today. It could try and do it tomorrow. All right, now the reason that I'm going to highlight this little point there is that's actually a 4-hour, guys, a 4-hour swing trigger long. So if on the open of the FESX, guys, if literally the sellers try to push down, but they can't get much beyond the R1, that's because there'll be a number of institutional traders waiting for them to push down to the black line. Then they're going to load the contracts in. So don't be surprised if we sell down, tag the black line and go back the other way. Mind you, that's going to set up an absolutely incredible reversal on all of the markets. So the reversal you'll be looking for, guys, if the FESX does that, S&P 500, you've got a cluster of static bar reversals here. NASDAQ traders, you've got a cluster of static bar reversals just there. And again, we're going to let the We're going to let the market basically tell us what to do. What we don't want to do ever in the European Open is try and preempt market direction. Right? We don't want to try and predict what it's doing. 60-minute chart at this stage. Let's have a quick look. Looking to come back for funding webinar. Yeah, so mate, the funding webinar is on tonight. Absolutely correct. So separate link, separate room for that one. Absolutely correct. Hang on a second. Hang on. Sorry, this very rarely happens. But guess who's just found my office? So guys, this is my princess. This is Princess Ivy. Ivy, Daddy's got to go to work, darling. Yes. So guys, I'm going to have to hand her back to the babysitters because I can't trade and hold this little chicken at the same time. So look, everybody's saying hello. Hello. All right, good. Let me just turn my camera off. I'm going to go and put this one back where she needs to be. I'll be back in a second. Hold on one second. Hang on. Oh dear. All right, I do apologize, guys. I do apologize. That typically doesn't happen. Let me turn this camera back on again. Now, my camera, you're going to play the game. No, camera doesn't want it. Oh, no, might be turning back on again, guys. At this point in time, camera doesn't want to turn back on again, so I'm not going to annoy it technology-wise. Yeah, no, she's not shy. She's not shy. Now, you guys can hear me. You guys can hear me clearly, I trust. Apologize for the interference. She loves to come and say hello. Yes. Perfect. What time is half an hour after the room? Ron, webinar starts in exactly 2 hours. Okay, great. All right. So guys, at this point in time, I'm not going to tempt technology by trying to get the camera to do what it does because we're literally 2 minutes from open. If something starts to misbehave, then we've got a problem. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So 2 hours from now, Ron, is when we're going to run that one. Perfect. So guys, back down to the FESX. Now, for those that don't know, for those that are watching, I live in the mountains of Japan. So I live in the mountains of Japan, and we decided to come to Japan on a holiday, and we decided to stay. So it's been an amazing journey, let me tell you. So down to the 15-minute chart. Down to the 15-minute chart. What I'm looking for is 15-minute chart reversals that could give us a hint as to the first direction the Europeans are likely to go. As at this point in time, I'd suggest the Europeans are going to drop first. So it looks like they're probably going to fall first as before then turning around and coming back the other way. All right, that would be my little tip. So what does it mean, guys? It means for the European Open and the European Open FDAX traders, if you trade the opening candle, guys, we're looking for the key Fibonacci levels, understanding that the FDAX loves the 133 fib extension. So I'm going to follow what would appear to be the most obvious stair step, guys, to see what they're up to. They may actually outstay, guys. They may actually outstay that Fibonacci extension. All right. So what I mean by that is it looks like they've already gone beyond the Fibonacci extension they normally use. Guys. So that means we might be getting a fairly robust buy to start off. So I'm going to reposition, guys. I'm going to reposition an alternate Fibonacci, which is this one here. Okay, the 133 sends them to the stratosphere. So it's going to be a dominant candle Fibonacci, which is our only other choice. All right, so there's our dominant candle. That is probably the Fibonacci they're going to be working with. So as for the opening candle traders, again, we're looking like we're setting up a pre-top reversal. We do need them to push up first, which they've just done, which is brilliant. So for those of you that are looking to go short on the FDAX, you're actually picking up a short, guys, underneath the 133 fib extension. Now, your entry point on that one, guys, will be 82. That's if you trade that. Okay, we're just watching what these are. They've gone straight to the bigger Fibonacci's that I had on before. Guys, so again, a reversal under yesterday's high for the FDAX traders, guys, at 83. There's a reversal at 76. I do need to go back to our bigger extensions. Okay, now I'm expecting, guys, the FDAX to tank very, very quickly. All right, but that's because the FESX is going to have to go to the 50 fib. All right, 50 fib of the day. So that may be the Fibonacci they're using. Right. So what we're going to do at this stage, guys, there is a short under yesterday's high. If you trade the opening candle, there is a short under that level at 83. There's also a short under the pre-top. Now, guys, if you're going to go short at 83 on FDAX, your target is 78. Okay, so your first target and risk control point is 78. That delta V2 on my screen at 775 is tradable. That's a very, very encouraging sign. That's very, very encouraging sign. Let me just blow up the NASDAQ for you and we'll see what's going on. So for those that reverse under pivots, guys, you've got a fill of 83. Your first target is 78. You've gone through that. Your next target, guys, is, do the maths, 83 through to 78. You've gone through 78. Guys, your next target is actually 73 if you're holding for long range shorts. For those that are short inside the pre-market box, guys, at 76. You would want to make sure at this point in time that they go and fill that delta V2 at 75. So you might see the delta come on the screen. Guys, they push away a couple of times and then naturally that delta will get filled a second time and off it goes. So again, guys, I'm just going to move my charts around. I would suggest we're back to the bigger Fibonacci again. So let me just run this Fibonacci as quickly as I can. And I'm just going to turn on some microphones, guys, as well. Look. There it is, guys. There's the 133. There's the 133 fib failure. All right, so everybody short on the FDAX, you're in a really good place at this point in time. Guys, I'm just going to turn some microphones on. Remy, you've picked up a beautiful long trade, which is fantastic. So well done. Let me just get, guys, let me just get this control panel up and racing. Okay, zoom, zoom, zoom. There it is. All right. Now, that being said, guys, if you're short on the FDAX at this point in time, you're looking pretty good. Okay, looking pretty good. I'm looking for my control center for Zoom to turn the mics on. So we'll just let the opening candle bear through, guys, and then we will get the junior traders in on a trade. If you're short on the FDAX at this point in time, guys, it's looking really good. Okay, I'd suggest the buyers are going to burn out towards the close of the candle. Okay, so that's where I would suggest that we are going to be running out of steam. Okay, so just let these guys cruise through, guys. If you are on that delta V short, sorry, the delta V2 at 775, as again, depending on your experience levels, as you'd be wanting to try and hold the short for up to 15 minutes to see if we can milk as much profit out of it as possible. The best trade, guys, on the FDAX so far is under yesterday's high because it offers the least amount of risk and is associated with that 133 fib extension failure. For the NASI and S&P 500 traders, again, we're about to pick up, guys, that R1 reversal we were talking about in the preamble. Okay, so we're about to pick that up. So let me just watch very, very closely on the NASDAQ. We are in the last 90 seconds, guys, of the candle, so you need to be a little bit careful as to what we're doing. FDAX, guys, my read of the FDAX, having traded it for around about 12 years, is these guys are about to tank, right? Now, that doesn't mean we just enter on an invalid trade, guys, but I have a sneaking suspicion that the buyers have outstayed their welcome there. And I think we're probably going to get a nice little move to the downside. Now, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get my little microphone buttons up, which I can't at this point in time, guys. So all my support moderators, I'm gonna have to turn your microphones on very, very soon. Now, for those that are looking for a really, really lovely short, guys, on the NASDAQ, okay, right, we've closed over the top of the R1, right? So that means we can't go short at 671, guys, until we close under the R1. Now, the only other alternative, guys, if we do get a new delta at around about the same level of 671, guys, so if we do get a delta short, I'll put a line on the screen for you. If we do get a delta short, guys, then we are looking to trade that delta. For the advanced traders, sure. For the junior traders, I don't want you assuming a close under the R1. So for the NASDAQ traders, we're going to have to wait for a moment there, guys, and see if we can get a really, really valid little short for you. Or, guys, if the market decides to go to the high side, which we were expecting it to do, then we're going to be looking for some long-range buy signals for the US traders. Now, For those short guys on the Delta V2 at 775, guys, your first target is 770 with your risk control point. So you've just tagged your risk control point again. Okay, so again, some of you have gone short, guys, under the pre-market top at 76. If so, your first target and risk control is 71. Some of you are on the Delta V2, entry 75, guys, risk control is 70. So at this stage, guys, we're looking for 5-point first targets and 5-point risk control points, guys, on the FDAX. Now, many of you know what you're doing on the FDAX anyway, so that's all right. If you have gone short under yesterday's high, that trade's looking really good. If you've gone short under the pre-top, it's also looking very good. I would expect at this stage, guys, I do expect the FDAX to go further than where it is right now. All right, so Nathan and other slightly more experienced traders, guys, if you are short, your only major obstacle to going short is those dual 76s and the 50 fib. If we do get a really, really strong showing on the FDAX here, guys, if we do get a really strong showing, it's actually going to quite happily wander through the longer targets. So if you are short, guys, you've got a target at 5, you've got a target at 10, target at 15, target at 20, but you've actually got no risk. Okay, you've got no risk on any of these trades at this point in time. All right, so if you have gone short on the FDAX, guys, first target is out, second target is out, third target is on its way. You have no risk, please. So your risk to reward is now significantly stacked in your favor. What we're watching on very closely, guys, the FESX. Okay, they've gapped up at the start of the candle, which is a sign the buyers may circle towards the end of the FDAX candle, not at the beginning. If this little candle here, guys, closes red here in 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the FESX, we're highly likely to go back to the 50 of the day, which is going to drag the FDAX traders to long-range targets, right? Long range targets. So what does it mean for the FDAX? Guys, if you are short on the FDAX, guys, Fibonacci goes up in order to catch them on the way down, guys, and you guys are looking to trade all the way, whoops, you guys are looking to trade all the way down here, please. Okay, all the way down there. Now, for the NASDAQ and S&P traders, at this stage, we're looking for the buyers to show us whether they're strong enough to hold over the R1. If they're not, we're going to pick up a really lovely short, guys. There's no doubt about that. Let me try and fix, guys. I'm going to try and fix the Zoom button. It's literally right here. Okay, the screen control has vanished off my computer. Guys, it is hiding here somewhere. Let me just move some stuff around. I want to turn some microphones on in the background, guys, because I normally have a really good team of people helping me moderate. Today, they can't talk to me. Cody can. Cody, by any chance, because you're in as a co-presenter, can you turn on Damsey's microphone? Are you allowed to do that?
Let me have a look.
Mate, if you could, because my control center has gone... it's gone. I don't know where it's gone. It's not going to stop us doing what we're doing, guys. It just makes it a little bit entertaining. Let me tell you. So, for the
I can't turn his mic on, but I can report him. That sounds like more fun.
Oh, you can report him, of course. That's great.
I don't want to press that report button and just see what happens.
Oh, dear, you might kick him out. But you might kick him out. That'd be the disaster. All right, so guys, at least I've got Cody. So I got Cody. That's awesome. So, as we're looking for a close at this stage of the current. We're looking for a close of the current candles. I said looking for a close of the current candles. If we do get a close underneath the 50 fib, guys, so underneath the 50 fib on the FDAX, right? So underneath the 50 fib. What we're looking for a close under the 50. We're looking for the buyers to push back up. We're going to pick up a series of shorts. They've gapped under the 50, which is just as good. So again, for the FDAX traders, if you do get the buyers, guys, if you do get the buyers cruising back into the market and they get above 770, you can take this static bar reversal short, guys. They've got to get above 770 to pick up your order. For the NASI traders and S&P, S&P, I've got a nice short for you guys. NASDAQ, I've got nothing for you at this stage. So what we might do, we'll get rid of these Fibonacci's. We'll rebuild some fibs. For those that are short, guys, for long-range targets on FDAX, if you're short for long-range targets, guys, that delta short just there is tradable. Guys, if you're a delta trader, it's short at 757. Right, it's a short at 757. Flip side, guys, I'm expecting the market to move down. I'm expecting the market to move down, guys, to at least these 76 fibs, right? At least the 76 fibs. I'm also expecting the FESX, guys, to get dragged down to the 50 fib of the day, which it normally does inside the cash market. I know it hasn't done that yet, which is a little bit strange for these guys, but that's all right. They're allowed to do whatever they want. We're just going to move along, guys. We're just going to move along as we can. Now, again, I'll keep an eye on the S&P. Guys, I'll keep an eye on the S&P because I do like a short. Again, the short's going to be setting up at exactly 95.25. For the FDAX buyers, the FDAX traders who are looking for a lower risk trade, you're looking for the buyers to push back up and tag the pre-top and go short under the pre-top. All right, that original Delta V2 we spoke about at 775. Paul, you've reached your daily KPI, mate. Well done. Oh, that's fantastic, mate. Great job. Guys, again, if the buyers do have enough energy to show on the FDAX and get above 770, we're selling at 770. Some of you may be short on the Delta on FDAX. Guys, that trade is looking okay at this point in time. Again, the risk on the Delta trade may be the issue for some traders. All right, that's why I'm going to look for a kind of lower risk, higher potential trade for you guys. All right, so we'll just keep an eye on what's going on. The NASDAQ, guys, looks like it's going to peel under the R1. Okay, S&P traders, don't forget you do have a short, guys. It is a CSA-based short, guys, at 95.25. Let me just find out what Fibonacci they may be using. All right, so for the S&P 500, guys, it looks like it is a smaller range 4-hour short they might be trading off. Okay, a smaller range 4-hour short. Let me just do this for you. All right, that's what the S&P 500 is doing. Okay, FDAX traders. So FDAX traders, time is okay. If you do get the buyers pushing, whoops, I just moved the Fibonacci. I'll go and correct that in a second. If you do get the buyers pushing, guys, above that Delta V2 entry point there at 775, then your entry's at 775. Your first target is 770. All right, so we've pushed only 1 point above that entry point, guys. It's basically offered another pre-top reversal. So if you have gone short, guys, on the Delta V2 at 775, your first target and risk control point is 770. Guys, if you're eyeing off that green static bar reversal, the mustard green one, your entry's at 770 with your first target at 765. NASDAQ traders, please get ready to go short. Please get ready to go short. So static bar reversal traders at 770, you've just gone through your target at 765. Those who went Delta V2 for the second time at 775, you've gone through your first and second targets. Now, what does that ultimately mean? I still think the FDAX has got some selling. Would you wait for the confirmation buyers are blowing? Yes. No. Mate, the reason being is we're going into a static bar reversal here that was fueled by that 133 fib extension failure that we spoke about before the session. So the FDAX will normally go and test where that Fibonacci is, fail, give us a short, go back up, fail that, and then basically run down. Okay, so I'm expecting the FDAX to go further. Guys, I'm expecting the FDAX to go further. Grab the webinar link for the evening, please. Nathaniel, we can probably do that. So I'm expecting, guys, the FDAX to go further. I'm just watching the FDAX volatility, guys, is starting to wane a little bit. Okay, so they're waiting for news. There's European news at 6 p.m., so around about 45 minutes from now. I don't believe that's what they're waiting on. Sophia, hello, how are you? We're looking for the NASDAQ to close underneath the R1, which it has not done. Okay, so we have not closed under the R1. What does that ultimately mean? We're picking up a beautiful ratio-based, Sophia, a beautiful ratio-based trade here. Again, how are we going to deal with that? If we do get the sellers coming down, you can see this little indicator over here tells me how strong the sellers are. So you see at the moment, they're 5 times stronger than they were on the previous candle. If we do start selling down underneath the R1, okay, and we start picking up deltas, guys, for the junior traders, we can't assume a close under the delta, under the R1, so we're going to have to wait. FX traders, it looks like your V2 Delta is setting up again. So please wait for the buyers to push in and fail. So you're looking for their volume to climb. All right, so you're looking for their volume to climb. For the super careful traders on NASDAQ, we're waiting for the sellers to get back under the R1. Guys, if you are short on the S&P, as some of you may already be, guys, if you're short, guys, at 95.25, your first target and risk control point is 94.25. Okay, so again, we don't have, at this point in time, guys, we're going to go short targets on the S&P because we don't have larger chart agreement as to go short. And we've also got the NASDAQ arguing with the S&P about whether they're going to go short. So for the S&P, what it ultimately means is if the NASDAQ in 3.5 minutes was to close under the R1, then all of the shorts are actually going to start moving really, really well. Now, for the FX traders, guys, you are likely to pick up another short. Okay, so the volume, see at this point in time, the volume is not climbing. So the buyers are kind of doing a little bit of blue sky mining. Right, so literally a bit of blue sky mining to see what they can come up with. For the FX traders, if we can push up, guys, if we can push up and we clearly start failing at this 76 fib, or we do push up, tag the 90 and then come back down under the 76, then the short under yesterday's high that some of you have already taken, guys, again, the short is at 83. I'd give them a bit more room this time, guys. Give them an 82 short. You're basically telling the sellers you must get well underneath yesterday's high in order to take the trade. Okay, so let's just let them go. See, they're just exploring, seeing what they can do. This is where we've got charts in conflict, guys, with the FESX. So normally the FESX goes back to the 50 fib of the day in the cash market. It hasn't done that yet. Petros, mate, once we get around about 3/4 of the previous volume spike, then I'm thinking they're starting to burn. Okay, so at the moment, guys, we're now starting to burn volume here. So ultimately for the FDAXs and guys right across the board, we're not entering these two deltas here on the NASDAQ, guys, until we confirm we've got S&P 500 agreement, which would be a massive ask at this point in time, right? So please don't take those deltas long at this stage. For the FDAXs, guys, we're looking for these guys to tag, right? These 90% Fibonacci's, fail at the 90% Fibonacci's, get pushed back under the 76s. Understanding, guys, this is the all-time high of the FDAX. This is the highest it has ever been. So we do need to go and put that Fibonacci back on again. Okay, we do need to put that Fibonacci back on, because if that is the game, guys, if that is the game they're playing, it's literally going to become a game of basically, guys, they're exploring new price territory. Right? So again, we've got to be very careful. If the FDAX decides to explore new territory, this is the highest it has ever been, guys. If it starts to explore, we've just got to be careful about reversing on the other ones. Now, let's have a look here, guys. Let's have a look. So at this point in time for the FDAX traders, okay, and the NASDAQ traders right across the board.
There's a 15-minute 133 at 798, honoring it now as
Thank
well.
you, mate. Okay. So what we're looking for, guys, at this point in time for the European-based traders, if the FESX closes above the pre-top, very, very strong green candle coming through here. If it closes above the pre-top, guys, we're not going to go short on the FDAX. Right? So again, so those early shorts were wonderful, but now the institutions come in, guys, on the 20 pass candle. Note the candle, 20 pass. The instos have decided they're going to go for price discovery, which is okay. We're just going to have to be careful going short. For the NASDAQ, if we close under yesterday's high, we're looking for a trade. If we close over yesterday's high, guys, we're looking for long range longs. All right, so we're going to have to, that's a long. Okay. FDAX, I'm going to leave you guys alone for a moment. Okay, I'll leave you guys alone for a moment. For the NASDAQ traders, there is a trade setting up. Guys, the risk is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The risk is 90 ticks, which is going to pull a number of you guys out of the market because it's a little bit too much risk. What we're looking for, guys, is we're looking for a structured retrace, which means the Fibonacci, guys, the sellers... The sellers have got to retrace back to the Fibonacci, guys, before taking off. And the entry is 2 ticks over the top of the candle for those that can carry the risk. If you can carry the risk, It's an absolutely amazing long trade. Now, again, for those that know what we do, the entry point is 2 ticks over the top of the candle. They've run really fast, guys. They've run really fast. And I'll tell you why the NASDAQ is running fast, because the FESX has given us this really strong buy candle. Now, if that is too much risk, guys, if 90 ticks is too much risk for you and you're not allowed to take the trade, Andy, you've got the trade. If you're not allowed to take that trade, Super P, how are you? What's the usual risk? Under 60, right? Under 60. So 90 starting to get a little bit crazy, getting a little bit crazy for us. But that's okay, mate, because this candle is out of context with the market. All right, so those that can take the trade, you've gone through your profit targets. Again, you've had a ball. As for those that can't take the trade, we're just going to wait for the buying enthusiasm to leave the market, and then we'll pick up probably some pretty heavy long range shorts. Let me just do some chart work, guys, in the background. Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring up a 4-hour chart, guys. Again, we've just gone beyond our Fibonacci's. All right, so let me go to a 4-hour chart. We're going to have to extend. Yeah, they're going for the gap close. All right, so see the gap here. The NASDAQ
so lucky that 15-minute extension. It's now at the 1618 identified.
Thank you, mate. Perfect. So for the FDAXs, for the FDAX traders, if we see the volume blow out, guys, we're looking for a static bar reversal short once the candle's closed. All right, so let's just see what they've got. I'd suggest that's the best fib we're going to get, guys, at this point in time on the NASDAQ. So we've drawn the Fibonacci down to catch them on the way up. There will be Fibonacci extensions at play here, guys. There will be Fibonacci extensions at play. So I'll go and find that extension for you. For the FDAX traders, if you do get a selling delta on this candle, your risk to reward ratio is going to be absolutely divine. If that selling delta, guys, occurs as the FESX starts to fall away from closing over its R2, we're setting up shorts right across the board. For the junior traders who are waiting for a lower risk trade, we're waiting for the little NASDAQ here, guys, to close under yesterday's high. If we do get a selling delta underneath yesterday's high, once the candle closes, that could be the turning point in the market. Okay, let me do some extension work for you. All right, so let me do some extension work. For the NQ, it looks, as Keith has said, guys, looks like a lot like a 161.8 fib extension failure. It's a 133 to the tick off the 15-minute chart. All right, so now we know exactly what the institutional traders are thinking. What does it mean, guys and girls? If you could hold the risk long, then a really good target is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 ticks to the high side. Now, Remy normally goes for 50 ticks on every trade. So Remy, if you have gone long over the top of that candle, what's actually spiking them or holding them is that 133 extension. All right, so what it means, guys, if my Fibonacci is correct also on the S&P 500, then we know exactly what these traders are thinking, and then we'll be able to draw conclusions accordingly. Okay, so let me just do this for you. The other chart that may actually end up being really good for us, guys, is the 60-minute chart. Okay. The S&P 500, guys, has not finished buying yet. All right, still got a little bit of fuel in the tank. All right, so let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens with that one. I'll just go and check the 60-minute. Guys, I'll go and check the 60-minute fibs, just to check if there's any greater. There's going to be a really lovely Fibonacci here on NASDAQ. Guys, I reckon we got the NASDAQ Fibonacci pretty well nailed. There is going to be the stair step that switches the trend. Okay, so that one runs from here to there to there. Okay, let me double tap on that. I'm going to change the color just so we can tell the difference between them. Right, okay, 133 fib extension, guys, on the 4-hour chart. Sorry, 60-minute chart. That's exactly where these guys normally muck around. So I think we've got our Fibonacci sorted. For the NASDAQ traders, minus 8 rated candle. Absolutely incredible candle. Now, we can't sell short, guys, through yesterday's high. Now, this is going to be a little bit painful. What I mean by painful is for the beginner traders or those that are new to what we do, is we need to wait for this current candle right here to close back under the pivot in order to go short. For the advanced traders, if you go short off the 133 fib extensions, you may have already gone short off this 133 or that 133. All right, so if you had your Fibonacci on, guys, a little bit faster than I did, you may already be short. If you are already short because you know about that 133, FTX traders, watch for a delta, please. A delta short. If you are already short on the 133, guys, you can expect them to move back to the 100 extension, which is where they're playing. If we do close under the 100 extension in 4 minutes, guys, and under the R1, then everybody, sorry, yesterday's high, everybody's going to get a really lovely reversal to the downside. There's no counter Fibonacci, guys, against that reversal for a long way, right? Which makes it a really, really good little trade. So again, guys, what are we looking at? Slightly more advanced traders. If we tag that 133 and you normally trade off the 133 extension, you're looking to go short once they push beyond the 133 and again, fill all your short orders, which will be brilliant. For the junior traders, we're looking for a close underneath the pivot, and then we're looking to go short on this -8 rated static bar reversal. That's a very strong sign, guys. The buyers have completely lost control of the market, which is what we like, guys. Now, again, if that NASDAQ Fibonacci is correct, the S&P will be following an almost identical Fibonacci pattern. So again, now we can start to break down what they might be thinking. Again, FTX traders, you're keeping an eye out for a selling delta, please, if you trade deltas. Okay, NASDAQ, S&P 500, what are you doing here? S&P is out the middle of no man's land, guys. That's why, okay, that's all right. It doesn't matter. That's why the NASDAQ is thinking, do I reverse? Do I not reverse? So again, what does it mean? Guys, for the FTX traders, we're looking for a delta short. I note we haven't got one yet, so the instos are not ready to sell the European markets just yet. Guys, I think, again, FTX traders will be waiting for the big FESX down the bottom right-hand corner to close under the R2. The moment that closes under the R2, particularly if it is a 4-point turning bar, guys, they might do a run for the 50 of the day, okay, which is now there. They normally do that in the cash market, right? So again, it looks like the weights, guys, are bending in favor of the sellers for the Europeans. Guys, that is a -8 rated static bar reversal short for those that trade SBRs. So guys, if you do trade in SBR short, you've got an entry at 21,800. Your volatility is under 20. So again, you're looking at a 5-point first target and 5-point risk control. If we do get a delta, guys, in vicinity of 21,800, that'll give you an idea the institutional orders are starting to come in. Okay, now, Nazi traders, we're waiting on a close underneath the pivot. I know this is annoying. It's annoying at times, but it is something that we do have to it's something we do have to abide by. Absolutely no doubt about that. Again, if we do get a really lovely little close here, guys, on NASDAQ underneath the pivot, okay, if we do get a close underneath the pivot, let's say they were to close down here, guys, then what we're looking for is we're looking for a retracement back up to try and fill an order short, guys, and the order short will be at exactly 95.50, right? So you're not allowed to put your order on just yet. It's 58 seconds away, but we're looking to sell, guys, at 95.50 all the way down to 695. So because everywhere you see, everybody's waiting to see if the FESX closes under its R2. Okay, see what's going on at the moment. So biggest market in the world at this stage, volume-wise. So S&P's got biggest volume, 2117. The FESX is 46. There's almost 5,000 contracts. So therefore, the big volume is in Europe. And guys and girls, at this stage, we're waiting. 9550. Absolutely brilliant. Jeff, so if you've got an MNQ delta at that price, you're waiting for the NQ to close under yesterday's high, then we're looking for the entry short. Okay, so let's just let them come to us, guys. This is called let the market do the heavy lifting. We don't want to preempt market direction. Just going to wait for it mathematically to prove what it wants to do. And then we're going to go and do it. So for the NASDAQ traders, guys, you are looking for an entry short, guys, as discussed with you. Okay, 9575 or 9550. As if you are allowed to take the trade, guys, at 9550, if you are allowed to take that trade, your volatility is 48. Okay, so across here, volatility is 48. Guys, that means you guys are looking for a 16-tick risk control point. Okay, so let me just, oh, that's not what I want. Boom. Okay, so 16-tick risk control. experienced traders, you know exactly what to do with this. For the NQ traders, this trade. So guys, that is your risk control point. So your RCP, right? So again, I want the junior to control ticks, but go for 20. For the slightly more experienced traders, you're going to go for a Fibonacci target. Okay. The FDAX traders at this stage, Cody, where's your 161.8 extension? Where's your 161? Cody's
It's a
busy.
15-minute chart. The price is at 815.
Okay.
So
Yeah, perfect. Okay, got it. Got it. That one can go.
next one back.
Now, Nazi traders. Yeah, so Nazi traders, you guys are looking.
Next one back. Next one to the
Okay,
left.
got it. Got it. Okay, you guys are looking for
That
so
one.
for the Nazi. Yeah.
No. Your A point is right. Your B point is the top of the same candle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you bring the C point down. Correct.
ABC that switched the trend. Well done. Okay, brilliant. Okay, NASDAQ traders. So NASDAQ traders, thank you for that. Okay, so Fibonacci extension reversal traders, guys, what you're looking for, FDAX, is the buyers are going to push up. They need to be burning volume. So around about, say, 70% of the previous spike. You guys are looking for a short. If you trade Fibonacci extensions, guys, at 812, for the really careful traders, you're going to wait for a failure at the R1 and then go short. Right now, NASDAQ traders, okay, your risk control point is 16 ticks. Guys, your first target is 20. Your second target is 40. For the experienced traders, you're going to run Fibonacci, please. So the Fibonacci for the NASDAQ traders, Fibonacci looks like this, like that. So you guys, even the advanced traders now, you're through your 100% extension risk control point. For the junior traders, they're going to try and milk this cash cow, guys. Your target is 4 ticks over the top of that 133 fib extension. So junior traders, your target is 680. Mark, beautiful trade. All right, so for the junior traders on NASDAQ, guys, if you're trying to sort of milk the cash cow, your target is 680. It's about to get drilled. FDAX, you're in, guys. So if you do, guys, if you're doing a 161.8 fib extension failure, the FDAX traders are in. I'll give you a price in a second, but you guys know what you're doing. At this stage, guys, the NASDAQ, guys, if you've entered where I've suggested, even if you've got a crappy fill of 695, you've already gone at least 50 ticks into profit. So please make sure you've hit the 100% extension. You must control your risk, please. So that means, guys and girls, again, first target 20, second target 40, your third target might be 60s. What it means is you've either gone everything for 50s or everything for 40s or everything for 20s. It doesn't matter what you've done, but everybody's gone, guys, through their profit targets. Terry, beautiful trade, 21s and 51s. Mate, stunning trade. Stunning trade. All right, well done. Now, again, so what we use there, guys, we use a 16-tick risk control point. So once the market has moved 16 ticks in our favor, we reduce our risk to below 16. So the risk to reward ratio is in our favor. Guys, once it moves through sort of the 25 to 30 tick mark, we move our stop loss to -1. So if you're going for a 50 tick target with a -1 stop, guys, your risk to reward is 50 times in your favor. Like 50 times in your favor. Okay, and that's how we play the game. Mark, well done. Just past the first stage of having the funded account. Ooh, Mark. Now, guys, I've got a webinar tonight on how to get funded. So the secrets of how to get funded. Guys, as a funded trader, can I tell you that it's not that hard to get funded if you are happy to play the game. You've got to play the game. So well done, Mark. That's brilliant. Allison, 11 and 51 on NQ. That is a stunning trade. Terry, again, well done to you, mate. That is a stunning trade. Everyone's controlled their risk. For the FDAX traders, if you're a 161.8 fib extension trader, well done, Cody. Guys, you are short at 13. Guys, your first target, guys, is 8, and you've gone through that target. Now, again, if the FESX, guys, closes under the R2, right, closes under the R2, we are going to see, guys, some selling. Now, interesting point. Guess what? Guys, the FESX is at the 2025 high. So these guys might enter price discovery. What that means is we've got to be very, very careful shorting the European markets until the FESX finally gives up on buying, which is not a difficult thing to do. Now, NASDAQ traders, Everyone's controlled their risk. There's no question about that. The intermediate traders, those people that have got a little bit of idea what you're doing, guys, you guys are going to try and target down here at 680. Guys, so please be advised, 680 is a trade of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, say 60 ticks, worst case scenario. Guys, your stop loss is now at -1. You cannot lose any money on this trade because you've already taken the first target out, right? Your risk to reward is 60 times in your favor. If we sell down a couple of times here, guys, on NASDAQ and we can't get through that 100 extension, no, that is the mathematical risk control point. If we can't get through that, guys, then again, the market might turn around, try and have another crack at the high, set up another reversal. The long range traders are holding this trade for up to 15 minutes with the expectation that we should mathematically go to 680 within about 12 minutes. All right, so let's see how we go mathematically. We're going to price discovery, guys, in the European markets. All right, we are entering price discovery. For those that want to short off the R1 on FDAX, you're going to have to make sure that the volume starts climbing. So at the moment, we're just getting to the point where you'd say, I'm happy to short off the R1. Guys, your volatility is under 20. So again, it's a 5-point target, guys. 5-point first target and risk control. Cut all your risk off. If it runs in your favor, giddy up. If it doesn't matter. Carlene, how are you? Hope you're amazing. Okay, so plus 20 times 4. That's a beautiful trade, Carlene. Oof, 4 contracts. And Carlene, did you get my email this afternoon? I did. I did laugh at your email. I thought it was fantastic. Keith, 11, 21, 31, 41. Well done. You did. Well done, Colleen. Fantastic. Well done. Brilliant, brilliant. Now, let's just, guys, let's just see what these NASDAQers are doing. Okay, so guys, no one's got any risk on NASDAQ. Even the super long-range experienced traders have got no risk. Now, interesting point, guys, we have no larger chart agreement at this stage with what we're doing. That's why we're not getting the 100-tick moves on NASDAQ. The flip side of that, we're about 7 to 8 minutes away, 7 minutes away from getting larger chart agreement on the NASDAQ short. All right, so I have a sneaking suspicion that if we are staying around this candle, guys, in 7 minutes time, the long range short traders are actually going to go relatively well. There's no question about that. FDAX, if we do get a selling delta, it will definitely draw my interest. I think the FDAX sellers are basically waiting for the mojo to run out of the FESX. If we do get a selling delta, as particularly if it's anywhere near, you've got a triple static bar reversal here. If it's anywhere near that, then we're going to pick up what could be a really good little trade. Pivot 45-minute reversal. Yes, Cody. Yeah, Cody's favors 45 minutes. We are looking, guys, we're looking for a big short on the European markets once they decide to give up their buying. All right, so our first shorts, so we'll do a little bit of a markup. Okay, do a bit of markup. So on the opening candle, as we spoke about shorting under yesterday's high. Okay, we also spoken about shorting under the pre-market box. I'll put just one circle on there, guys. We also spoke about trading, guys, trading short off that Delta V2 at 775. So even the V2 at 775, guys, has gone at least 3 times the daily KPI required on FDAX. Right? So if you picked up those trades, well done. Guys, now we're waiting for everything to reset again. And again, it looks like it's resetting relatively quickly. As we spoke about that little delta short there, as we spoke about the delta short, the risk is over the profile for what we would normally do. But that's okay. You guys know we don't trade over profile risk. So we'll just wait for the next one and off we go. Now, the buyers are coming back in, guys, off that 100 extension, as can probably be expected, because that is the risk control point. If we were to break below that, we're going to run and keep going. But again, no one can lose any money, which is good. Greg, 8 times 12 contracts and 4 times 8 contracts on the S&P short. Mate, well done. That's a beautiful trade. Okay, that's a beautiful trade. Oh, button pressing. Let me just go and fix this for you here. So, mate, great trade. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, now, if we were to get a higher high on the NASDAQ, so let me just explain what's going on here. If the buyers were to push up here and give us a higher high, guys, if they were to tag yesterday's high, we're actually reloading that static bar reversal short. Right, so let me get rid of our little box for the moment. That's our risk control box. If we do get a nice little buy, guys, and we fail, that's a 4-point turning bar short. This big candle here has got a label above it called 4-point turning bar. So in fact, did anybody, guys, out of interest, did anybody trade the 4-point turning bar short? I was actually interested in getting you in on this -8 rated SBR, but some of you may have traded that 4-point turning bar. If you did, the response was quite brilliant. FDAX traders, you've got a ratio-based static bar reversal short. Okay, your entry point for the FDAX traders that know what they're doing is 812. That's exactly the same entry point we were looking at before. If you are going to go short, guys, at 812, if you are going to go short at 812, your risk control point is 807. Okay, so if you are short at 812, it is a ratio-based SBR. As the ratio is just here, guys, there's your 2-rated candle. The ratio is based from here across to here. Okay, so what does it mean, guys? If you're short at 812, your risk control point, guys, is 807. Okay, 807. For those looking for an R1 reversal, you need a higher high now in order to go short underneath the R1. Here I am pointing to my camera, but of course the camera's not on. So you guys can't see me pointing up and down. So again, for this static bar reversal traders, guys, again, we're looking, all eyes globally are on the FESX, right? So it is trying to enter price discovery. If that fails, guys, if that fails, it's actually going to be really good fun. It's really, really, really good fun. So keep an eye out, guys. Again, if you're short on the FDAX, your first target and risk control is 807. Reason being is your volatility is well under 20 now. Okay, now, for the Nazi traders, guys, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a higher high. I want to send you short on these deltas, right? So see these 3 red deltas here on this candle. I'm trying to send you short on those trades. Now, we haven't got a higher high, okay, which is a little bit annoying. But what it does mean, though, what it does mean is when we got into this trade, we said we're going to try and hold it for up to 15 minutes to maximize the profit on the trade, all right? So we've got 5, 10, 15. We're currently in the profit maximization candle. Okay, Fibonacci, as we did say for the slightly more experienced traders, if you can try and hold it down here to a target of 680, as that gives you a 60 tick trade, okay, which is, again, daily KPI is 20, right? So if you're anywhere near a 60 tick target, that is hilarious. FDAX traders, SBR off the R1, you've now gone short, guys. You're through your first target at 807. Your second target, guys, is 802. And then we basically just go 5, 10, 15, 20, guys, all the way down to the 50 fib of the day. All right. Or you can go for 5s and the 50 fib of the day, guys. It's an enormous trade. So for those that are short, guys, on the FDAX, you're short at 812. Your first target and risk control point is 807. Guys, your second target is 802. All right. I would suggest they've kissed it. I wouldn't suggest they've paid it, but I would suggest there's a little bit more selling coming. Okay. Now, again, all eyes are on the FESX, guys. If they cannot enter price discovery, we're going to go under the R2 there. And again, the Cody reversal, guys, 45 minutes into the hour, is looking a lot like it's about to gather a bit of traction. All right, so guys, for those short on the FDAX, if you're going for 5s and 10s, your 10-point target is 802. Guys, you're currently trading at 804 and 803. We just need one little push, guys, a little push by the sellers. This delta here, guys, on FDAX is definitely going to attract some institutional attention. If they do engage the delta at 801, all of the targets at 802 must have been paid. So this is going to go down to the close of this candle to see how strong the close is. For the Nazi traders, I've got no new signals. What I'm looking for you guys is a higher high, and then we're going to pick on the deltas, the selling deltas, guys, on this candle over here, right? These selling deltas, ideally the top 2 would be wonderful. If we do get a push up here, guys, we're going to pick up that 4-point turning bar. If we push even higher, we're going to pick up that static bar reversal. So we're literally, guys, rinse and repeat. Okay, we're looking for an entry around about the 9550 mark short on NASDAQ once the buyers push up and fail. It's a pretty big ask. It's a pretty big ask. Let me tell you why, guys. FDAX has just given us a 4-point turning bar to the downside. All right, so one of the most powerful reversal signals in the game. So again, for those of you, Lee, hope you're amazing. For those that are short on FDAX, if you're trying to hold for that 10-point target, guys, at 802, All right, a hint that you're going to get paid, guys, is draw a Fibonacci down your dominant 4-point turning bar candle. Okay, if you guys see these retrace up, guys, there's your target. You guys see the guys retrace up and they fail very, very early at normally the 38 Fibonacci or the 23.6. But if they fail at that dominant candle turning bar Fibonacci, you're going to get paid. Because your first target, again, is 807. Guys, your second target is 802. That's now been paid. Guys, your third target is actually 97. So your third target down here is 97. Some of you are short, guys, holding for 5s and 25s. Right? Fibonacci says you will get you will get there, no trouble at all. All right, so do I have any FDAX traders that are short for longer range targets, guys? Because that long range target now, your first target is out, your second target is out. The longer range target is very much about, does the FESX close under the R2? All right, so for those of you that are short on the FDAX for long range targets, please do make sure you've got no risk, guys, on your long range target. All right, your long range target, okay, being a 25-point target, which is, guys, 25 points is 1,000 Aussie dollars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your 25-point target. Guys, your 25-point target takes you down to almost the 50 fib of the day, which these guys are famous for getting to. Right? This is not unnormal for these guys and girls. So again, guys, ratio-based SPR off the R1. If you are short, okay, guys, it's just doing what it does. Again, I would love these sellers to take control. Yes, mate, I'll see you in the webinar tomorrow. Yeah, see you in the webinar tonight. So we are running a webinar tonight on how to get funded. So how to navigate the funding process. Not to be rude, it's a matter of discipline and patience. It's a matter of doing the same thing every day. It's a matter of following a proven system every day. It's a matter of not making anything up on the run. It's a matter of using very smart targets, smart stops, and really good risk control points. I am watching the NASDAQ very closely. It's a matter of controlling your risk quickly and letting your profit run. It's a matter of, again, playing the trading game, guys, playing the trading game. All right, so that Fibonacci has worked beautifully for us. So for the Nazi traders, now, guys, I do want to see the buyers push up and fail at Fibonacci. Okay, we are very, very quickly approaching the last 45 minutes. In fact, we're in the last 15 minutes. Guys, we're in the last 15 minutes. Now, for the slightly experienced traders, we've come high enough now to re-pick up that sell order at 95 or 95.50. So those people that trade are returned to this static bar reversal just here. I was just confirming your entry point short is 95.75 or 95.50. Now, if you are going to go short on that one, guys, we are in the last 15 minutes of the session. So once again, guys, I'm going to put the same caveat I did on before. So you guys are going to run with a 16-tick risk control point. All right, so if you're short under that SPR, I'll give you a little bit more room. If you're short under the SPR, guys, with a fill of around about 95.75 or 95.50, that is a 16 to 17 tick risk control point. So the moment the sellers push down and start engaging, guys, that sell point there, or start engaging the bottom of my box, you would be saying, there is my risk control point. I'm going to start to reduce the risk on the trade. Guys, and ultimately, I'm going to try and trade this out for the close of the hour. Now, for those with some experience, guys, you'll know that trades in the last 15 minutes run at about a 92% strike rate. Those before run at 95 to 96. All right, so guys, just so you know, if you're watching us for the first time, there's a number of traders that won't take trades in the last 15 minutes. What they wait for is they wait for the hour to close and then take the trade. Right? As a result, they're back into the 93, 94% strike rate again. Okay, so again, guys, if there are any questions, we are in the last 15 minutes. So again, really, really good opportunity to ask questions if you do have any questions about what we do. Guys, as a quick heads up, last time I looked, it looked like we had around about 70 traders in the live trading room. Guys, we do have people on YouTube, we've got people on Instagram, people on, there's another one as well. Guys, I just got a message from one of the traders on the Gold Coast of Australia saying another great night, plus 82 ticks on the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ traders, your daily KPI is 20 ticks or $100 US. Guys, so for young Mick to pick up an 82, he's 4 times the daily KPI, which is always, it's always a great place to be. The markets, guys, got a lot less volatility than they did yesterday. So again, if you want to witness what we did yesterday, guys, please don't forget YouTube is there. Okay, YouTube is there. It's ready to rock and roll. For the new traders, for the brand new traders who are waiting for a static entry on the turn of the hour, guys, I'm eyeing off this -8 rated static bar reversal. Now, what does it mean, guys? What does it mean for the new traders? We wait for static entries. Right? So we wait for the candle to close and then we take a trade. We don't mind if the candle's closed in the previous hour. Right? So we've just got to make sure that in the case of the NASDAQ, the S&P 500 doesn't decide it's going to rally. Okay, now, guys, so last night, I was in the LTR. We had 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart agreement with what we were doing, which made the session very, very easy. Today, guys, we have no larger charts agreeing with what we're doing. So it's actually producing quite a technical session, but that's okay. Volume into my decision, Petros making process. And the question is, when do I wait for the volume to burn out to trade? Mate, so around about 50 to 60%. So around about 50 to 60%. If you can see the buyers pushing up, they're basically running into a brick wall and you see the volume climbing, but the territory is not climbing, then you'd say, righto, 50 to 60%. If they get around 80%, mate, you know that they're running out of steam. And naturally, if they go climactic or run over the top of the previous one, you're looking really good. Okay, really, really, really good. Now, again, guys, FDAX traders, wrong. NASDAQ, guys, we've just pushed through. I just took my eyes off this for a moment. NASDAQ traders, we've just pushed through and failed at the 50 fib. Now, if that is enough ammunition for you to say, Lockie, we're pushed through to the 50 fib, I'm now going to pick up my static bar reversal short. Guys, if you have done that and you do trade the last 15 minutes, please, please, please use the 16-tick risk control box. All right. So what does it mean? It means at this point in time, guys, you've already gone 16 ticks since the buyers failed and picked your sell order up. As you'd be looking for a 20-tick first target, you would then make sure that you've got no risk, guys, no risk on the trade coming into the turn of the hour. Because if it doesn't turn in your favor, guys, if it doesn't turn in your favor, it gets a little bit ugly on the turn of the hour. FDAX traders who are short for longer range targets, so you've gone through your 5s, you've gone through your 10s, you've gone through your 15s, guys. You're looking to try and pull it down to a 25. All right, so that's $1,000 Aussie trade per contract. So if some of you guys are short on the SBR off the pivot, Cody, are you short, mate? I'm pretty certain you're short. I'm pretty certain.
I'm already in and out, mate.
Oh, well, so your trade is done for you?
Yeah, I'm in and out of that trade. Done. There's a 4-point turning bar too that's just gone 5s.
100%. Yep. So what I'm trying to do, guys, I'm trying to encourage the FDAX traders to go for 5 points, then cut their risk so they can't lose any money and just let the profit burn. Guys, just let it burn all the way down. So again, guys, a great way of doing that, 5-point first target. If you've got 2 contracts, you can go 5s and 10s. Guys, if you've got 3 contracts, 5, 10, 15. If you've got 4 contracts, 5, 10, 15, 20. Or, guys, you can just go for 5 and 20 or 5 and 25. Now, if you do a 5 and 20, guys, it ends up being 25 points. Why? That's 1,000 Aussie dollars. Okay, which is, again, that's a 5 and 20. Right? So that's a 20-point box. Right? So note what the market's doing at the moment. If you have gone short, guys, at 812, you're literally a whisker off a 5 and 20. And the beauty of a 5 and 20 is, guess what that is? It's $1,000 trade. Right, so again, that's again, if you're on the trade, guys, Cody's in and out. But if you are on that trade, guys, that's got the potential to actually go and pay that longer range target. Now, we've got 5 minutes, guys. So this is the Widowmaker candle. For those that don't know, this is the candle where a lot of traders make a mistake on getting smoked into the market before the institutions come in the new hour. So what it ultimately means is there's no new trades. So there's no new trades. If you're already in a trade like the FDAX shorters, you would be just sitting on the trade trying to maximize your profit as much as you possibly can. Again, guys, highly likely the FDAX may try and turn down to yesterday's high, or a little bit further. Again, that 20-point target, guys, just as an idea, the 20-point target, Again, the 20-point target is 92. They've kissed it. I'd suggest with the gap down at the start of this candle, they'll have no trouble pushing through. For the Nasdaq traders, again, as we're being very, very careful about the last 15 minutes, what we're looking for those that trade the hourly turn, we're looking for the buyers to muck around on this particular candle, turn around and come back under yesterday's high, which ultimately resets that static bar reversal on the left-hand side. Because the volatility is dropping down, guys, the caveat will again be a 16-tick risk control point. What we're looking to do is we're looking to, again, cut risk early, let the profit run. We end up with a risk-to-reward ratio that's enormously in our favor, far over 1-to-1. 1-to-1, guys, is just, again, is a great planning. It's a great, like, planning tool. But in reality, a 1-to-1 risk-to-reward ratio will keep you out a lot of really stunning trades. I think we've got to be very careful as in the game of trading that we don't try and put a static solution over the top of a dynamic market, because you'll deny yourself incredible trade entries that then run on to absolutely wonderful profit. So I think we've got to be a little bit careful. That we don't try and sort of, again, try and fit a cookie cutter solution over the top of something that is dynamic and fueled by emotion. Otherwise, it tends to not go well. I'd suggest at this stage, guys, the FESX will probably burn out the hour and close under its R2. If it does close under the R2, again, we're looking at pretty heavy reversals right across the board. We're not going to go long, guys, on that black diamond NASDAQ delta there. Okay, we're not going to go long because we are in the last 5 minutes of the hour, and this is the candle that can normally fake the market out before breaking out in the opposite direction. Carlene, all good. So see you in the webinar tonight. Perfect. Now, what have we got? So 3 minutes into the hour turns, I would suggest, guys, FESX highly likely to close back under its R2. If it does close under its R2, then brilliant between MNQ and NQ. Lockie, there's a 20-tick difference between MNQ and NQ. A 20-tick difference. That sounds like a data discrepancy. Do you want to push F5? You want to push F5 on your chart and just make sure. So it's a good learning point though, Jeff. If you ever end up with a data discrepancy, guys, between the NASDAQ and the MNQ, then the NASDAQ wins. All right. So if you're trading the MNQ but watching the NASDAQ, it needs to actually be the other way around. You need to be trading the NASDAQ, but if the risk is too much on the NASDAQ, you can drop to the MNQ and take the same trade. You don't want to be trading the MNQ in preference to the NQ. Yeah, Cody, spot on the mark. I didn't mention it, but we do, guys. We do finally have some longer range charts setting up in our favor. All right. So at this stage, Europeans, guys, the Europeans look like, certainly on the 30-minute chart, the Europeans look like they're getting ready for a really lovely short. 60-minute is running out of steam, which is brilliant, fueling the shorts. The 15-minute, guys, has fueled a really, really lovely little static bar reversal. So if in the new hour we get a little bit of buying, turns around and fails, then we're going to come back down. We're going to trigger that SBR short, guys, and that's going to run quite nicely. And for the Nasdaq traders, we're waiting, guys. We're waiting for the hour to close. This is where we can get smoked into a trade that is mathematically brilliant, but it gets swamped by the instos that come in. Hi, Diane. How are you? Hope you're fantastic. Great to have you in the webinar. We've had, Diane, depending on your risk profile, we've had a couple of little NASDAQ trades today. We have had a long, okay, which again came quick. And then we've had a number of people pick up the static bar reversal short, but we had to wait for the close underneath the actual pivot itself. And then we had some people trade the 4-point turning bar. Okay, all right, now, guys, we're on the hourly turn. Okay, can you guys see why we didn't buy that black diamond delta to the high side? This is why we don't buy that delta at this point in time. FDAX will move you away at this stage. Diane, we've had some really nice trades on the FDAX. Let me just, again, I'll circle them depending on how you trade, but we have got the SBR off the pivot at the top, which was a no-brainer. Okay, now, NASDAQ. Okay, here we go. These guys are really angry. Guys, these deltas on NASDAQ are tradable if you can hold the risk. Okay, they are tradable if you can hold the risk. Now, the flip side, guys, the flip side of that, again, for those that are waiting for a static entry, again, we don't have a static entry yet. We've got dynamic entry because the market's popping up and down. Again, guys, the deltas are tradable if you can hold the risk for the slightly more senior traders. Now, for the junior traders, guys, we're waiting for this candle to close. We want the buyers to push back up, and we want to pick up that SBR entry we were talking about at 95.50. FDAX. Oh, FDAX, absolutely brilliant. FDAX, that static bar reversal, guys, see that -2 rated doji there? It's got a fill of 805. If we get above 805 and we fail at Fibonacci, these guys are moving quickly. If we get above 805 and fail at Fibonacci, there's two trades on FDAX, guys. There's the little one here at 805, or there's an entry short, guys, at 802. Don't you run without us, please. So for the FDAX traders, your static entries on the turn of the hour, you've got this static bar reversal here and that static bar reversal there. Either way, the higher one has got an entry of 805. The lower one's got an entry of 802. Once again, 5-point targets, 5-point risk control. For those that are short, guys, on the delta, worst case scenario, guys, you've traded either the V2 or the V3 down here. So the first three deltas. Same caveats again. If you're short on the delta because you entered dynamically, all right, you've gone through your 16-tick risk control point. You've also gone through your 20-tick first target. Mark, you got 52 off the SBR reset. Right, that's a fantastic trade. Okay, well done. Daxi, worst case scenario, guys, you're short at 802. Your first target is 97. You've just gone through your first target. All right, so, well, okay. FDAX traders, you're on your way, guys. You've got two static bar reversals there from older price movement, guys. I tried to give you the 802 as quickly as I could, right? So if you've gone short, this is looking hilarious. This is the turn of the hour. NASDAQ traders, worst case scenario, you've gone short on the third delta down, guys. That's a 16-tick box. You've just gone through your 20-tick target and you've just gone through your 40-tick target, okay? DeBraj, 50 ticks on the NQ short. That's fantastic. All right. So who just joined us? Who was that just came in? You joined us at a good time, Diane. You joined us at a great time because the market was a little bit quiet today, but it's just warmed up. Okay, no doubt about that. So, guys, so Nazi traders, worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario, if you're a dynamic entry trader, you picked up the third delta. Some of you picked up the V2, right? So either way, guys, either one of those deltas has gone way beyond your first target, way out of the. Please make sure you have no risk on the shorts anywhere, please. All right. S&P 500, you've actually picked up a really nice short, guys, off that daily 76 fib. I didn't call that for you, guys, but again, it's gone out of sympathy with the NASDAQ. FDAX traders, again, guys, I don't think anyone got in at 805 because I was too slow at calling it. But if you got in at 802, guys, you've already gone through your 5, your 10, and your 15-point targets. Mark, Louis Brown, well done. Beautiful trade. Cole, well done. Mark, you got NQ 52. Okay, now that's huge. ES 1. Okay, mate. Well, that'll do it, mate. That'll do it every time. Do I have any NASDAQ traders who are short for longer range targets, please? All right, do I have any NASDAQ traders short for longer range targets? I'm just going to work out your count of Fibonacci. FDAXs, you guys are gliding perfectly to the downside. Guys, have a look why. Look, bottom right-hand corner. This is why we're selling everywhere. Where did it occur? It occurred on the turn of the hour, right? That's why we don't trade up. Guys, we don't trade up into the turn of the hour. We would have been slammed on that trade if we broke our rules, right? So again, if you want to get funded, guys and girls, do not break the trading rules, please. they're very boring. They've been around. The trading rules have been around since 2009, guys. So please don't break the rules, right? Please don't break the rules. FTAXs, you've gone way beyond where you need to go in order to lock in some lovely profit. So guys, just note the buyer still owned the stair step on the FTAX. So all we did is we grabbed an earlier static bar reversal and said, if you guys can't go up, I'm going to grab you down. Okay, which is exactly what we've just done. And that looks like it's gone well. Longer range NASDAQ traders, your first major port of call, guys, will be these red Fibonacci's. Okay, now at this point in time, I wouldn't be going long off those 76 fibs on the NQ. I'd simply be using them as a longer range target. Okay, if we get agreement from the S&P 500, we might look for a long. Okay, let me have a look. Okay, we don't have that agreement. Let me get rid of that larger Fibonacci. Okay, let me get rid of that. We don't need that at this point in time. Okay, so at this stage, a buying delta goes back into the R1. We're not going to do that on NASDAQ. Okay, we're not going to do that. Now, some of you have traded this short down to the 76 fibs. All right. Now, the way we set that, guys, the way we use Fibonacci is the target setting guide. Your target would want to be 4 ticks over the top of those 76 fibs. All right. So let's say around about the 667 for easy maths. All right. So if you were on the deltas, you've gone for a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. It's almost a 100 tick trade. It's almost 100 tick trades, noting that when you hit 16 ticks, you cut your risk off and let it fly, guys. Just let it fly in your favor until it fails here. If we do close back over the R1 in 2 minutes and 57 seconds, guys, we are going to go long, going back the other way. Check out the first delta on the 5-minute extension line. I will, mate. I will. Ahmed, really good. I'm off. Thanks, Lockie. Well done, everyone. Yeah, we're killing it. We are. Petros, Lockie, about the 33 fib extension launch point. Is it valid on the dominant candle? Yes, it is, mate, 100%. Don't tell anyone about that, Petros. That's a secret source, mate. That one. Does everybody know? There's no secrets in trading. It's just mathematics. No, so if anybody tells you, oh, I've got the secret sauce, no, they don't. It's just mathematics, guys. Always has been maths, always will be maths. And the beauty of that is the maths is the same in Australia as it is in Japan, as it is in Germany, as it is in Italy, as it is in Cyprus. Off we go. Greg, you got plus 12 times 20 contracts on the S&P. And now we're talking, mate. Now we're talking. That's a big trade. Terry, you got 61 and 51 off the 76s long, right? That's becoming one of your favorite trades, which is amazing. So well done. For the junior NASDAQ traders, guys, we're looking for this candle to close over the top of the R1, and then we're going to look for an entry point for you. For the junior FDAX traders, again, we're trading statically. So if you did pick up the earlier static bar reversal, buyers still own the stair step in the market. So the moment these buyers push up and fail, the shorts are on again. It's actually off that 141.4 fib extension as well. So these are the two numbers the FDAX loves, and the 161.8. Okay, so Cody's Fibonacci work, guys, today, hats off to Cody. That 161.8 has been enough to hold one of the biggest markets in the world at bay. Okay, reinforced by the R1. So again, we had to wait on the FTX, guys. We had to wait for these buyers to burn themselves out. And then we picked up a series of basically 4 shorts in a row. And the sellers have just come down and collapsed all of these buyers that bought into the market. Silly buyers. Silly buyers. But it's okay. That's right. It's again, we see silly people every day. Now, sellers own the stair step, guys, on both US markets. So we're looking for longs. So for the junior traders, we're looking for the buyers to close over the top of the R1 in 32 seconds from now. All right, then we're looking for a retracement back under the R1 to go long, 4 ticks over the R1, which will be at 77.75. So we need to wait, guys. Please don't assume a close over a pivot. It is the fastest way to blow up your account. So please don't do that. Wait for these guys to slow down. FDAX got nothing new for you at this stage. Nazi, you need to close over the R1 or jump over the R1. You've done neither of those. So NASDAQ traders, I've got nothing for you at this stage. FDAX, it's a massive ask, but they could do it. Okay, so FDAX traders, if the buyers push back up, guys, and pop through that point there, if they pop through there, the buyers will have stolen the stair step from the sellers. What does that mean? It opens up those 3 static bar reversals to go short again. My preference is that one rated at -2, and this one, guys, rated at -8. So if the buyers do push up and tag that little black line I put on the screen, buyers on the stair step, guys, we're looking for a short at 800, 21,800. They've got to go up first, guys, before we join them on the way down. All right, don't just put an order on, guys, at 801 and hope they come and grab you, because you might actually catch a price rocket as it cruises through. So please don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay, mind you, that would be breaking the rules, which means you're not going to get funded. You don't want to break rules, guys. It's a very expensive hobby. Has anyone else out there in the world ever broken their trading rules and then paid a speeding fine as a result? Am I the only one in the world that's done that, or is it is it pretty obvious? Keith, you've done it too. Raymond, too many times. I think it, guys. I honestly, I think breaking rules, pushing no comment. Diane, very polite, guys. Yeah. Because again, trading, guys, trading is a game, right? Trading is, as we wait for a signal, trading is a game of who can stay disciplined and patient long enough to make money. All right. So all you've got to do, guys, is you've got to navigate around those fear and greed demons that say you're missing out. Oh my gosh, everyone else is making money. You're missing out. Because that's where the zero comparison principle comes in. Right? So if you want to be really, really good at trading, never, ever compare yourself to anybody else in the game of trading. All you want to do is get better, 1% better than you were yesterday. Now, guys, that means that we literally write you a trading plan. We make sure you know exactly what you're doing. And then we basically say, right, your goal for the next 3 to 6 months is to just trade that trading plan. I do know, guys, Suzanne was in the coaching with us last night, and she says, Lockie, my trading plan is static bar reversals off a pivot. Well, there is her signal right there, guys. There's her signal right there. And what has it done? It's gone all the way through even the long range profit targets. So that is, guys, if I have a look over here on NASDAQ, if you want a trading plan, guys, that's a static bar reversal off a pivot. We couldn't take it until the 4-point turning bar closed under. And what was the result? Straight through targets. Okay, so what an incredible trading plan, which is I trade static bar reversals and 4-point turning bars based on pivots. Now that's, guys, the success rate of that trading plan, will be incredible because it is so strict, it is so particular, it is so mechanical, it is so robot. There's no room for personal interpretation. You can't kind of add pivots onto the chart and go, oh, I think I've got a pivot here. It just doesn't work that way, because that's not how mathematics works. That's just not how it works. Okay, so what are we looking at? We're waiting to close over the R1, guys, to look for a long on the Nazi, guys. The 76 fib, the counter Fibonacci's worked perfectly today. Some of you have actually gone long off those counter Fibonacci's. Again, if that's your trading plan, guys, gone really, really well. We did want to maximize the profit, guys, out of these trades here by holding the trade to those Fibonacci's. That's gone well as well. SBR short run 33, 15-minute. Yes, mate, thank you for drawing my attention to that. Guys, we are loading 30-minute shorts on the NASDAQ. We've just triggered a 30-minute short on the FDAX. FDAX, please, sweetheart, go up and touch that black line. It's all you got to do. Touch the black line. Worst case scenario, guys, worst case scenario, the FDAX comes up and touches the 141.4, and we can short under that. See that little delta right there? Okay, so we've got a delta short there at 799. If we were to get a little push up, we can pick up that delta at 799 for a 5-point target. I'm just waiting for that little push. No. That's the wrong way. Come on, sweetheart. Come on, get us. Come on. Okay, guys, again, very, very strict about what we do and why we do it. because again, the rules are there for a reason. Okay, so we've done okay on FDAX today, guys. Done okay on FDAX. What are you doing, NASDAQ? What are you doing? Okay. We may get a double touch reversal here on NASDAQ. Nice. We may get a double touch reversal. So what we're looking for, thank you, mate. Thank you. Is that, mate, is that drawn down? Is that drawn down to catch them on the way up? I would turn your mic on, mate, but I can't find the little panel to do it. A little bit embarrassing. The first time since I've been using Zoom that I can't find that little panel. It's gone somewhere, but that's okay. That's all right. We'll work around it. So, guys, at this point in time, I'm looking for the sellers to sell down. I want them to push lower on these 76 fibs, and we're going to go long over the top. Would it be amazing, guys, if they sell down, then we pick up a buying delta? The backup, guys, can everybody see that black diamond delta over there on the right-hand side? If we were to sell down underneath the 76s, that little delta there is open for everyone to trade, all levels, guys, all levels of traders. In fact, you know what? If I had have actually glanced to the left, when these guys sold down and tagged those 76s, I would have jumped everybody onto that delta right there. That would have pulled us another 50 tick trade too. That is a little bit annoying. That's a little bit annoying. Okay. FDAX, you're still waiting for your glimpse of buying, so you're gonna have to be a little bit patient on DAXy at this stage. Nice. We've had a good day on DAX. As they're just getting, they're a little bit grumpy now, a little bit grumpy. That's okay. I think they're going to push up, touch the black line, and set up a series of shorts. All right, but we do have that backup short. Right, so let me get rid of that big arrow. We do have the backup short. Is that if the buyers push up well above that 133 extension, it'd be amazing if they touch the 141.4. Then we're looking for a delta short, guys, at 799. Okay, we're being very fussy. What I might see in the webinar in 45, absolutely. So FDAX traders, we're starting to get very, very fussy. Your volume is starting to drop. The market's enthusiasm is starting to drop. They went into price discovery, couldn't hold it. Fancy that. But I do think, guys, the European news today will be quite positive. And I do think we're going to go higher. To see point of delta in the candles. Mate, who become the indicator? So that's a good point, right, mate? I wrote the indicators. The long story short on the delta indicator is I had a guy come to me in 2009, Reinhard. He couldn't hear me talking in the live trading room and said, Lockie, can you plot the signals on the chart for me so that I can see the signal? So 9 months after we started working on that project, we coded it, and it's been around since 2009. Florian, what's your opinion on an entry S&P 6095 long? Let me look at larger charts. Okay. If I was an S&P 500 trader looking for a really, really big long, okay, let me get rid of that for the moment. Okay, that. I would personally, mate, I would draw my Fibonacci up, okay, to catch them on the way down. So make sure that, again, it's drawn correctly, spine's correct, If these guys sell down, and they were to tag, so if they were to sell down and tag that 50 fib just there, all right, if they would tag the 50 fib, then what I would be looking for is I would be looking for a buy on the 5-minute chart that actually confirms. So Florian, for example, that candle there on the S&P 500 is a confirmed buying candle. Okay, so again, if these guys were to sell down and tag the 50, so if they were to tag the 50, let me just get rid of that black line for a moment. If they were to come down and tag the 50, now the way that I trade, Florian, a little bit different to other traders globally, but if they were to tag that 50 right there, I'd be picking on that delta V2 right there, all right? So 6094.50, okay, that would be my entry point. If they went a little bit below the 50 fib, I'd pick up that little green one right there at 93.50. All right, so that's what I'd be trying to pick up. So I would be looking at the larger chart and saying, if you guys pull down to this level, I'm then going to use a 5-minute chart entry because the risk is tiny. The potential reward is enormous. Okay, now, if that was a swing trigger, which it's not, let's have a look. If that was a swing trigger, absolutely amazing. But what I'd be looking for, mate, now that the Europeans are a little bit overbought, so that they were like really enthusiastic, now they're not enthusiastic. Again, if the Europeans sell down a bit, then they go back into price discovery again. Absolutely brilliant. If the S&P was to sell down to tag that 50, mate, my entry point is 6093.50. My backup entry would be 6094.50. They would be my 2 entries personally. You can also try and bounce off, mate. Try and bounce off the previous 240-minute high. But I'd be looking for the Fibonacci failure at the 50% inside our current trading session before I went long. If they sell down and get through the 38 just here and they can't get to the 50, then I'll be picking on these buying candles over here. So Reinhard, back to your question. But we have coded the indicators for NinjaTrader because that's the most popular platform that we currently use. We have been asked to program the indicators for Quant Tower and also Trading View. Okay, so Quant Tower and Trading View. So I've got my coder, mate, is working on 2 other projects at the moment, which are very, very important projects. So we're working on, guys, the 5th generation. So the indicators we're running in front of you guys is the 5th generation indicator. So all of the Samurai members globally, you guys are about to receive the 5th generation indicators. Which is very exciting. FTX traders, guys, you've just picked up that trade. All right, so FTX traders, sorry, I was gobbing off and talking in the background, but the FTX traders, all right, these guys have gone, the volume is very low on FTX. It's very, very low on FTX. If you were waiting for the buyers to push up, get near that 141.4, guys, you're looking for the reversal short, guys, at 799, as we spoke about before. If you have gone short at 799, guys, your risk control and first target is 794. All right, let me just bring it and put it right there. So if you have gone short, guys, on the delta at 799, your first target is 794. Come on, darling. Just one more, one more 5-pointer. Your volatility, guys, on FTX. All right, your volatility is starting to get really low. Your volume's getting really low. So we need to, guys, just honor the fact the FTX is now cranky. It's like a little naughty kid. We've taken all of its lollies away, and now it's a bit cranky pants. But a lot of the FTX traders have already finished. Okay, which is awesome. If you have gone short, guys, at 799, I'm pretty confident you're going to get tagged at 794. Hey, Steve, how are you? Hey, Lockie, how many trades a week is enough? I'm trying to come up with a new trading plan. Mate, what I want you to do, Steve, it's a stunning question. I want you to take 1 or 2 trades a day. Mate, I want you to hit the KPI. So the FTX KPI is 5 to 10 points and then stop trading. NASDAQ is 20 to 40 ticks and stop trading. S&P's around about 4 to 8 and stop trading. Ultimately, mate, the reason we want to do that is because if you can get 20 ticks a day, 4 days a week on the NASDAQ and slowly work your way up to 20 contracts, if you can do that, man, if you can do that, you're on your way to about $100,000 US a year for about 60 minutes a day of work, right? So the beautiful thing about trading is we're not trying to replace an 8-hour-a-day job with an 8-hour-a-day job. We want to earn what we do currently in 8 hours. We want to earn that money, guys. We want to earn that money in around about 60 minutes. Okay, now for the FTX, guys, we don't normally trade the FTX with the volume under 300. Guys, the volume on the previous candle is 90. All right, so it's actually gone way beyond our normal tolerable volume. Okay, so that's now, and the reason we have that filter in place for those that don't know is that the FTX, once it gets into the 200s, starts to get a little bit unpredictable. All right, so with a candle of 90, guys, that would suggest that, again, it's got the ability to pay 5-point targets pretty well. There's no question about that. but it does start to get a little bit antsy. Right now, for those that are waiting for, let me just turn the arrow around. For those that are waiting for the 141.4 to get tagged, or there for the buyers to steal the stair step in order to go short, those conditions haven't been met yet. Okay, they haven't been met yet. Guys, we've literally got 5 minutes until the session finishes. There is one trade setting up here on NASDAQ, and that's only for those people that trade 76 fib reversals. If that is your trade, guys, if that is your trade, I'm just going to give you an entry point. 66. Your entry point, guys, is going to be 67 even. So your entry point is 67 even, so 667 even. You do want the sellers to push down here, guys. You do want them to go into price discovery, which is what they're currently doing and failing. If you are going to go long, guys, at 667, understanding we've had a really good trading session today and lots of people have made lots of money, which is good fun. Guys, if you do need one more trade, your risk control point is going to be 670. Okay, now, again, is this an absolutely stunning trade? Guys, it's really, really close to the trend indicator. Okay, really, really close to the trend indicator. So it's a very, very, guys, a very, very low potential trade. Okay, so again, this is what they're just going to price discovery. Just let them do what they're doing. Again, it is a 76 Fibonacci trade. It normally goes very, very well. The volume is still okay on NASDAQ. Volume is woeful, guys, on FDAX. Right, woeful on FDAX. Just let these sellers cruise down, do what they're doing. We would want to get picked up, guys. If we're going to get picked up on an entry at 667, which is right there, we would want to get picked up before the last 90 seconds of the candle. Okay, so again, if you this is what you do, guys, you'd be putting your order on at 667. Okay, just like that. Saying, all right, Lockie, the sellers are pushed down through a known psychological area. Their volume is starting to climb. All right, they're not doing a lot of damage at this point in time. They're not doing a lot of damage. S&P 500, guys, looks to be caught in no man's land. Okay, so, oops. Let me bring my Fibonacci up. Yeah, look, guys, the trade's okay. The trade's okay. If you're already way over your daily goal, guys, then you wouldn't be taking this trade. Mathematically, it's pretty good, but we've got really, really tight risk control points on it. And we don't want to be filled in the last 90 seconds of the candle, right? We don't want to be filled in the last 90 seconds. So they've got literally a fraction of time to fill the order. Okay, what are you guys doing? All right, so the order is filled. As I got a little bit of slip on the order, guys, a little bit of slip on the order. Again, my ATM is relatively tight, guys, on this one. And again, these targets are way too ambitious for the end of the session. Right? Way too ambitious. So again, guys, we'll just let them bop along. Again, we're filled at the right price. We weren't filled in the last 90 seconds. We've got a black line across the chart, which is our risk control point. Right, so what I will be doing, okay, there's my risk control triggered automatically. Can't lose any risk on the trade. NASDAQ, I dare you to go up, baby. Go. So there you go. This has been taken up by the auto risk control. So guys, again, that's how you would place that trade. Right, that's how you would place the trade. Now, again, that's ended up being basically a scrub trade for me anyway. But I just wanted to show you that you wait for the sellers to burn down, wait for them to blow this steam. You could have entered slightly tighter than I did, guys, maybe 2 ticks tighter or 3 ticks tighter. You would have got a slightly better result. But we are at the end of the session. Again, we've had a really, really good day. I don't know if young Arlen is on the other side of the world there, guys, but we've had a stunning day on NASDAQ. So again, right at the end of the session, it starts to become a bit pantsy, and that's Ahmed plus 18. Mate, you got a better fill than I did, which is brilliant. Greg, plus 10 times 5, plus 20 times 5 on oil. That's a beautiful trade, mate. So well done. Greg, the oil delta, the oil and gold delta for everybody. So guys, if you're a currency trader, you're an oil trader, or you're a gold trader, your delta is coming out at the end of February. I said, be able to put the delta on all of the major currency markets around the world. like the Euro-US cross pair or the Japanese yen, Aussie dollar, Swissy, So we are about to have that Delta V2 indicator for all of the major markets around the world, which is brilliant. So, young Arlen, we've done our best today. My Zoom technology has gone a little bit wayward, so I can't turn anybody's mics on, but we've navigated the session okay. So again, guys and girls, thank you, TTP, for having us. Arlen, over to you. It's been a great little session. It's been good fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, Cody. I see you there in the background connected here with us. And thank you, everyone, for joining in either on our live stream, on our social platforms, or here in Zoom. Guys, whoever is watching on socials, we will share the link to sign up for next week's live trading room. Okay, if you want to be part of the conversation, part of the whole chat on Zoom here with the whole team, I do strongly suggest sign up so you can see everything and be up to date and be part of everything. And Lachlan, Cody, I'll see you sometime soon. We
Sounds great.
Working on good and fun things. So speak to you soon, and thank you so much for today's session.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks for having us. And Cody, thanks for backing us up. And guys and girls, I'll see everybody next week. And for those in the normal LTR, see you tomorrow. How about that? Thank you, Alan. Bye.